Hello and welcome to another week of Sambo iRacing. This time we're in the Toyota GR86 at Circuit Zandvoort. Zandvoort? Well, we're in Holland anyway. If you are new to my guides, what we do is we do a hot lap and then a breakdown lap, and then we're back in the cockpit at final time with the driving line on. Any questions, let me know in the comments. Okay, let's start the hot lap. So smashing it down the left-hand side, looking for just before the 50-metre marker. We're braking quite hard, trailing it off, down to second gear, on the gas nice and early, exit wide, up to third gear. At the end of this curbing here on the left-hand side, we're going to do a little brake, back on the gas, and then we're going to drop it down to second, another little brake there, on the gas really early using the camber. Up to third, this bit's quite fun, up to fourth. Wanting to cut across to the left, use the curbing, and then cut across to the right and totally ignore the track limit. Keeping it in fourth through here, just feeling for the grip, getting on the gas as early as possible. Over to the left-hand side. Full power. And then we're tricky braking here. Going to do a bit of counter steering because you've got lateral forces acting on you as you hit the brake. I leave it in second there. I found it quicker than going up and then down. This is where we can relax a bit briefly as we come up to the tricky little 11-12 chicane. So down to third gear, on the gas, back off the gas, back on the gas. Over to the left-hand side, little brake, on the gas as early as possible, and we're just holding it now. And over and across the line in a 1 minute, 51 seconds, 0.298. Right, we'll go through the breakdown now. Righty-ho. I'm not going to go into too much detail because it's such a long lap, but yeah, it's just before the 50-metre marker, as you can see here, that I start on the brakes, up to about 90%, dropping it down to third, and then trailing it off down to second, and I'm trying to get on the gas as early as possible. Don't go in the sand, up to third gear here. And then it's just before the end of this curbing. We're just going to dab the brakes, only up to about 25%, and then trying to get back on the power as soon as possible. The next braking zone is kind of tricky. It's easier to spot in VR, but as you can see here, we're about to go over a rise, and basically just as we've gone over the rise, we're going to just get on the brakes, only up to about 40%, and trail it off down to second gear, and I'm back on full, nice and early into the corner here. Exit wide. This bit straightforward. Cutting straight across here, leaving it in fourth gear, and then basically, yeah, it's just before this exit road on the left-hand side. Sorry, we're braking up to about 40%, trailing it off, leaving it in fourth gear, and then just feeling for the grip round this corner here. Looking to try and get back on as early as possible. You'll exit nice and wide, don't go in the sand. Back over to the left-hand side, and the next braking marker, it's just as we exit this curbing, and we're up to about 60%, dropping it down to third gear. We're wanting to cut the corner without hitting the sausage curb, and try and get on the gas as early as possible. It's quite tricky. So as you see here, so as we come off the curb and I get on the brake, you can see that I straighten the wheel, and that's to try and reduce the lateral forces as we're trying to slow the car at the same time, just to stabilize the car. Braking up to about 70%, and then we trail it off, drop it down to second gear, and we're trying to get on the gas as early as possible. Back over to the right-hand side. And then just as we get to this entrance roadway on the right-hand side, braking up to about 55%, and again, trailing it off. trying to get on the gas, and we're on 100% throttle nice and early through turn 10 here. We've got a nice relaxing bit down the straight up to turn 11, 12 chicane. And basically halfway along this curbing, just before the 50-meter marker, we're going to go up to about 85%. We're going to trail it off down to the apex. Little blast of full throttle here. And then we're back on the brake, trailing it off, and then back on full throttle again as soon as the car will let us. Here we go. As always, thanks for watching. I've been Sambo iRacing, and I'll see you guys in a week. Cheers.